Recently, Raiders general manager John Spytek sat down with the Raiders official YouTube channel. He dropped some serious wisdom about the upcoming NFL draft, his mindset for building a contender, and how he's laser focused on finding the perfect players to rep our iconic franchise. With the draft just days away, let's unpack every juicy detail from Spytek's interview and break down what it means for the future of Raider. What's up, buddies? Welcome back. If you are new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We cover all AFC West news here on this channel. Let's start with Spytek's credentials because this guy's resume is straight up stacked. He's got a championship pedigree from his time with Super Bowl winning teams in Denver and Tampa Bay. We're talking about a dude who's worked alongside NFL legends like Peyton Manning, John Elway, and get this, his former Michigan teammate, Tom Brady. Spytek gave us a behind-the-scenes look at the grind inside Raiders HQ, and let me tell you, it's intense. With the draft closing in, he's been putting in work, meeting with top prospects during the top 30 visits. These aren't just quick handshakes. Spytek and his team are sitting down with these young players, having in-depth conversations to figure out who they are beyond the highlight reels. He called the process speed dating from the Senior Bowl and Combine, but these visits are where they really get to know the kids. And the vibe? He said they've had great kids and great players in the building, which has me hyped about the talent they're eyeing. One of the biggest takeaways from the interview was Spytek's obsession with alignment across the organization. He stressed that the scouting department and coaching staff, led by Pete Carroll, have to be in lockstep when it comes to draft decisions. If there's any doubt, disagreement, or unrest about a player, that's a red flag. Spytek said the best picks he's been part of in his 20-plus years in the NFL, across stops in Philly, Cleveland, Denver, and Tampa, are the ones where everyone was pumped to bring that player into the fold. Think about that. If the scouts love a guy but the coaches aren't sold, or vice versa, it's probably not the right fit. That kind of discipline can save you from those head-scratching draft busts we've all seen too many times. When it comes to draft strategy, Spytek sees it like a high-stakes chess game, balancing need, talent, and positional value. He gave a real-life example from his time in Cleveland in 2010, where they had to choose between safety Eric Berry and cornerback Joe Hayden at the number 7 pick. It was a tough call, but they leaned toward Hayden because they felt the drop-off at corner from Hayden to the next guy was bigger than the drop-off at safety, where they later snagged TJ Ward in the second round. Lucky for them, Barry went 5th to the Chiefs, so the decision was made for them. But it shows how Spytek thinks. For the Raiders, with that juicy number. 6 overall pick, he's likely running similar scenarios. Maybe weighing a stud quarterback against a lockdown corner or a game-wrecking lineman. He wouldn't spill any secrets about who's on the radar, but you can tell he's got a plan to maximize value, whether it's a home run pick early or a hidden gem later. Speaking of building the roster, Spytek is all about dominating the trenches. His time in Tampa drove that home. He built 2 elite offensive lines there with superstar Tristan Wirfs as the constant. The first O-line helped win a Super Bowl in 2020, and the second was just as nasty last year with only Wirfs as the holdover. Spytek said it's tough to find those big boys in free agency. Either you get lucky like they did with Ryan Jensen, or you're overpaying. That's why the draft is his go-to for linemen, both on offense and defense. For Raider Nation, this is huge. Nothing screams Raiders football like a physical, violent front that bullies opponents. Expect Spytek to prioritize those big boys who set the tone in the trenches. The deepest part of the interview? Spytek's focus on the person. He admitted that when drafts go wrong, it's usually because they misjudge the player's character, not their talent. Speed, strength, and hands are easy to spot. Even his 2 young sons can see who's fast or who can catch. But gauging passion, resilience, and competitiveness, that's the hard part. After 22 years in the NFL, Spytek's spent countless hours interviewing players, reading their body language, and testing their fit for the organization. He told his scouts to ignore who succeeds elsewhere. Just find the guys who are the best fit for the Raiders culture. That's a refreshing take in a league where teams sometimes chase shiny objects or overhyped prospects. Spytek's betting on players who bring the intangibles that make a Raider, and I'm here for it. He also shouted out the unique honor of working for this franchise, something that hit home when he mentioned the late Al Davis's mantra, pride and poise. Spytek feels the weight of that legacy and the passion of Raider Nation. He said it at his opening press conference and repeated it here. There's something special about the NFL when the Raiders are in the mix. That gave me chills because he's right. When we're rolling, the whole league feels it. Spytek and Carroll are all in on giving this fan base the wins we deserve, and you can tell it's personal for them. So, guys, what do you think? Do you think John Spytek can take the Raiders to the next level and make them a competitive team? A real Super Bowl contender? Share your thoughts in the comment section.